Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah. How are you?
Good morning.
All right.
Doing good.
I have it as the Hollywood Squares look now. So, good morning, everybody. Lynn, you're still doing the
Yes.
CSU, right? You're still on the CSU, right?
Absolutely.
Beth, say hi to the team leader meeting. You're in the exclusive club.
I bet.
You're on mute. And it looks like I hope you're the passenger, right? It's like the Blair Witch Project there, the camera. So anyway, I think for today's session, what I wanted to focus on, hang on one second, is ways to create competition and motivate. And what I was thinking about is if we were to look at, all of our individual team members, because RE/MAX doesn't do anything with team members, right? They kind of omit them. They're in a lost spot, okay? And if we were to have some internal competition to motivate and spark people who are team members to do that company-wide across all 4 states, I think that might be something that's interesting. And then here's another opportunity I think that's huge, is if we could build a way like we did with the T2 where everybody got together, but maybe we build around events where I can invite the top team leader, maybe large team and regular team, top individual and top team members to come out to Arizona, for example, one time. And they come to the holiday party or a big event we have here so that they can meet everybody and build up that referral business. And then, we'll do the next 6 months later, we do the one in Florida, and then we do it in New York, New Jersey area. Because I know, Lynn, nobody wants to go to New Jersey. You got Arizona and Florida, and then I'm going to plop you in New Jersey? No. But
Fair enough.
But what do you guys think about? What do you guys and ladies think about that to build up a little bit of internal competition? So you have, the 40 some teams that we have. We have a scoreboard for the team members, company wide. We have large and regular teams, and we have individual agents, and we do like RE/MAX does, but we do it for our own organization, and we build in, twice a year, kind of milestone recognition points. Because I'm telling you, coming out here to Arizona at this time of the year, it's perfect. 50 degrees to 75 degrees, everybody would love coming out here. We can do one in Florida, we do one in New York City. Thoughts? Anybody like it? Don't like it? Not all at once.
I like it.
Right, I mean, go to Disney, right?
Happiest place on earth, #1 desired destination.
Yep. So that was my my thought to bring in that. Do you guys like comparing like team members to other team members? Is that something that, is there a downside to it?
I put that up on my boards. My team members won't go home. I think it's a great idea.
Very, very competitive. Danielle, what are your thoughts?
Sorry about that. I like it a lot. I think it's a great idea. I kind of always was curious, like we don't really get to see within, how do we see within the company, RE/MAX Select, where, each agent stands, each team stands. I don't think we ever really get to see those types of rankings other than the Facebook post.
Yep, because everything is done kind of statewide, if at all. And I think this would kind of build a better sense of competition and also connection. So that's my, any other thoughts on how we could foster a little bit more, competitive energy, spirits?
Well,
Anybody?
I like what Glenn does with the Sisu, but is there a way to do that type of like where you actually can see on maybe a daily or a weekly basis kind of what's going on in the company?
You mean in terms of like, activities that people are doing?
I don't know. It could be activities, but even just to see like I was at a Tom Ferry conference a year or so ago, and he has for his salespeople, there was like a screen, almost like a Sisu type thing where the salespeople like literally real time can see where they stand compared to all the salespeople. I don't know how many he has, but in his offices it's kind of like on a TV screen. So I don't know if there's, some type of way to do something similar like that. It doesn't have to be TV screens, but I don't know.
I mean, if we had, I don't know, I guess they can make like sales every day, right? And, ours, we really don't tally it up till we do it at the
True.
end of the month, unless we, did something where, I don't know how good I would be able to attract like, hey, new listings, right? New under contracts, but it's only as good as the information that gets put in.
I guess I'm wondering if, being the newbie here, but a lot of our agents are not going to be able to compete with some of these big hitters that are on the teams. And what would be gratifying for me is if they exceed their specific goals. So whatever the activities were that they had laid out, did they exceed those? Did they, the appointments and the closings?
Man, I think that's something that can be done at an individual office or an individual team leader level. And I'm just going back to like what seems to be forever ago, when I was in the lending business, they had it across the entire country, and they had, here's this, sales club that you can get to attend to, right? And they would put out, for example, we're going to Scottsdale in, next December, right? And it's, June, and everybody can see if they're tracking to be able to go there, right? And that was a fun, competitive way of engaging people, right?
Agreed.
You're on mute.
That's been my sales background as well. Except, when I was working for the big corporation, we had quotas. So you qualified for club based on your achievement versus your quota, and we don't. That's kind of where I'm going is, we've got an agent doing now 2.5 million. If that agent were to do 5 million, that would be huge for them, but it wouldn't be huge for some other agents to do that volume.
And then in terms of like financial feasibility, right? And I guess participation level, like what's the right amount of people, and how high end do you want this event to be? Any thoughts on that? The smaller the group, easier to do a little bit of a more bang up event. The smaller the group, the smaller the connections. What would be the ideal? Would it be, one, two, would it be, 4 people? Would it be 8 people? Would it be, how many people do you think it would be ideal? Alex, you had a thought?
Yeah, I mean, every time that we have to set up an event, it just takes a lot of energy and time and money. But why not utilize one of the Remax events that's already happening, and then have maybe a ticket paid for or something? So like, if certain teams or certain individuals hit a certain threshold, that they get an R4 ticket paid for. And then we do a dinner at R4 with that team, and now we're utilizing the concept.
Now, but
See,
I like
here's
that
what I-
idea.
Well,
Yeah, I do too.
here's my thoughts on that, because I'm gonna be a contrarian. I think I want to do it twice a year, not once. And I want to make it special for the locations where we're at. Okay, because going to R4, you'll see other people at R4. You could always do that. But how, like, I had 60 some people at our holiday party in Scottsdale, right? How awesome would it be if there was somebody from, Florida and maybe even
Yes.
different Florida markets and different New Jersey markets out at that event, right? So we can build something around when there's, a holiday party or there's an event that we're doing as a company to get people together and let them leverage and lean into that relationship building, in addition to coming out to see that we're not just, one office. I mean, I was talking to a donor this morning. I'm like, yeah, there's a couple offices in New Jersey. They're up in Cranford, and then they have an office in Spring Lake. You can come out to see some of your colleagues that you see on these calls, and you go out to Scottsdale. I think it's a different event. I think that's a tremendous advantage that we have. I actually went out to open houses yesterday, 5 open houses, and 2 of the people, had roots in New Jersey. They used to live in the New York, New Jersey area before they went. So maybe there's even more of that than I'm aware of, right? It's kind of like that reticular activating nerve. You get a new, white BMW, you see a whole bunch of new white BMWs, there's probably more of an opportunity to have referral relationships back and forth here as well, as New Jersey and Florida. And, the T2 event, if you went to that, I think we had a really positive response. And I think the real benefit to that is, not just the event we went to, but getting to meet people that you see on these calls all the time in person, right? I mean, it's pretty cool, right? When you see those folks.
So you're saying tie into an event that's already happening in those places. So you're not creating a new event. You're just working off of an existing event that's happening already in that city.
Yeah, so let's say, like, if we wind up doing maybe a sales rally in Florida, right? And then we build it around so that the people that are on the leaderboard get to go to that sales rally, with the people in Florida, right? So that you can build connections. And then you come down there and you visit a couple of Florida offices, right? So Elena Dean or Alex, if you're permanent down there, you would take the group to the different offices and, have them meet everybody. There'd be an additional purpose to that.
Okay.
Right. And then, maybe the annual person gets to go to R4 and the dinner, but I don't think that's not uniquely identifying us, right? Because any company could send somebody out to R4. So
And as far as updating the leaderboard, we could just have in the meantime, just do a Google sheet and have a nice version of it where it has a dashboard, and that dashboard could be displayed on the newsletter that Elena is actually working on for the brokerage. So every month when we do our newsletter, we could always update the leaderboard there as far as seeing what's going on.
I think if we direct everybody to a link so that they go to the hub, so that we get them more used to going to the hub, so everything drives them to that one spot. This way we can disseminate information better, right?
Rob, it's Danielle. You can also have, without complicating it, just so it's not like always maybe the top 3 or 4 salespeople, like smaller challenges. For instance, maybe for Q1, the most improved from, last year to this year or something similar, or, a challenge for the week or the month of most listing appointments, maybe something like that, to not discourage some of the agents who may not be the top producers.
I'm definitely open for for thoughts and ideas there. Without making it too complicated and making it so that we don't get it done timely. I also don't want to hurt people's feelings if we don't get it. Like, I don't want to have it so complicated we don't get it right.
Right.
What if
But
we started what if you started at the team level or something by an agent level average or something like that, and then moved it out? It's for like, I'll give you the example, the monthly stats that come. There's always something that's off by a pretty big margin for me. And I know that my team members jump all over me about it, right? Like from number 4 in the state for the quarter for 3 quarters, and then we weren't even on the top 100 list, which is not possible. If I sold nothing, I'd still be on the top 100 list, right? So one of my recommendations is maybe we start at the team level and then move it to a top agent from each level or something like that. Start something aggregate first.
Right. So Glenn, that was a glitch that at corporate, which kind of happens at times. But for us, we basically go off of, if we paid you, we report it. So it has to be, it'll be in the report if we paid you. So I don't think we're gonna have to worry about like those type of cataclysmic glitches.
Okay, I have had that before, just so you know.
No, look, and Glenn, being, Donah and I were just talking, like trying to build the Massachusetts and the other states into the accounting, like corporate's not accustomed to that. And I think when they tried to fix it, that's how you fell off the complete radar, But
Yeah, I'm just saying that Deb used to always go with us monthly because the monthly numbers never matched. So we ended up, doing it with her once a month to act for.
Yeah. And then I think the unique part for us is nobody's doing, at least that I know of, like a team member level acknowledgement, right? And I think
I do.
Well, but not like there's no top team member for Remax in the state, right? They just fall under individuals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think this would create a unique category that would keep them excited about being on the team and build up a little bit of competitive spirits. Maybe they can be on individuals and team members. I don't know. Maybe you put them on the individuals, and maybe you exclude them from the individual list. I think you probably exclude them from the individual list, just put them on one. Unless there's a downside to doing that. Last, I'm going to circle back to, like, what's the right number of, people that, let's say we do this event and we go to Scottsdale, New York, and somewhere in Florida. What's the right number? Is it one team member, one team leader, one large, one regular team, one team member, one individual? Like, what's the right mix to get out there so that it's beneficial, in your opinion? Not all at once. And no thoughts.
How many
Yeah, I
how
would
many
have to-
teams are there?
40, 50. Probably over 50 now.
Well, there's
I-
definitely going to be people who can't make it too. So
I do think that team leader should always attend because they want to also bond with their team member. But that's just a thought.
Mhm. So are you suggesting like maybe team leader puts forward a couple of the top agents, maybe out of 5? So if there's a team of 15 or a team of 10, then they could put forth 2 agents into the competition that month, and they have 2 chances of winning because it's based on every 5 agents inside that team?
Well, no, I think it would be, you know, let's just let's say you're a team of average individual of, let's say high performing, but not the top, right? So if, you know, Alex, you were here and your team, everybody did 5 million, you had a team of 10, you might be the top team leader. But, you know, Danielle Coyle has Scott DeBow, who is, or Glenn Baker has, you know, Tim Taffin or Steve, who are the top team members, right? You would qualify as the team leader. None of your team members would qualify because they're not on the leaderboard for the team members. And, you know, Danielle's team is number 2, or somebody else's team is number 2, but they have the top team member. You know, does the team leader go? Does it only the top team? Is it 2? If it's in your state, like, do you get to go to the next one out of your state? I like, there's a lot of things that I think need to be, you know, addressed. So anyway, I'm just looking for opinions, and then yeah, obviously the bigger it gets, the more financially challenging it becomes, right? And you know, do you want to keep it smaller, more high end? You know, do you want to keep it, you know, bigger, high end, find a way to fund it? Do you want to keep it, you know, those are things that I'm just, you know, thinking about.
Rob, can you
Rob.
mute everyone, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rob, go ahead and mute and then I'll.
Go ahead.
My one comment, Rob, is that, you know, we do, like, for instance, whoever gets 2 investment properties, they're going to go to do a Formula One box in Las Vegas with me as a prize, right? I would kick in money for a larger event as a team leader to get my people to something that's more grand amongst them all. So I don't think, I just want to put it like, I don't think this is a burden just for Remax Select to carry. That's just my point.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts on that? So like, if it was your team going out there and we make it a little bit bigger, participating in that, is that something that you would say, hey, I don't want to do? Or is that something that, you know, you feel is a worthwhile investment?
I would participate.
And
And I
just
like-
to be clear,
I
I'm not
like-
saying I wouldn't bring my number 10 out of 10. I'm just being honest, like, that's not motivation to me unless they're on the right path, right?
Right.
And I think Glenn makes a good point, making a little more grand. I mean, if we're gonna do it, it should be special,
Okay.
right? Especially the area we're in, right? You wanna go someplace nice. We have a lot of really nice things in this area. So something that's a little more grand, but they also get to make the connections, I think would be, and I would be happy to contribute, but I think that's a better event for them to be motivated by.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to, I see Adona is like half on camera, but I'm gonna, you know, ask Adona and Alex to try to come up with some ideas for me before next Monday so that we can, you know, move this along.
Sounds good.
All right. Anything else on your mind? Anything else I could help out with?
No.
Negative? Is there
Rob, just
anybody
a silly thought at the team level. What if we just had a team level CSU account that only team leaders could update or their admins can update for the aggregate numbers? And then they get trued up at the end of a month by, I guess, Lone Wolf or whatever it is, whatever we're using. And that way, all of us can put up on the dashboard our team status in our offices as a starting point. It's kind of a neat way in real time to have it, right? You put an order, you get it under contract, you put it in, right?
So Glenn, you know how many like offers your team members are making every week, right?
Everything. Offers, under contract, things that fell out and why.
Okay. Danielle, do you know how many offers your team's making? Lynn, Bobby, You know how many are going on in your office or not really?
Yeah.
Lynn, yes?
Not as well as Glenn, that's for sure.
Nobody does it as well as Glenn.
I have a general idea, but it's certainly something I got to improve on.
Same for me.
Would you be interested in knowing how much you don't know by being accountable?
Yes, it's an area I have to improve on, without a doubt.
And all right, Glenn, maybe we could talk offline about like how that would look as a team leader CISO account. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I'm happy to help set it up. I think it's kind of neat because it's real time, right? It just, and when you see yourself slacking, you're going to go, hold on a second. I know that I had better than that. And you're going to fix it because of that dashboard being up in your office. That's what happens. I'll tell you, my team members, they see someone cross over them, they go nuts. They start working like crazy. And it's just a pretty neat thing. And maybe it'll keep us accountable for ourselves.
I mean, could there be an account where like a Danielle or a Bobby could, have accountability for team members in their account if that were where they wanted to go without doing an individual team account? Or
I think there's a way to do that. Yes. I'd have to just test it out, but I'm pretty sure you can. Because
All right.
EXP is now offering this to all their agents, so they must have a way to do it.
So EXP is now offering Sisu.
To every agent, yeah.
Cool. So
But look, like so few will be able to use it, right? I mean, that's the practical piece. It's a great platform, but very few will be able to use it.
well, I appreciate that offer, and that makes my what's it called, the spring break reservation even more relevant, right? Are you still there, Glenn?
I am. Yep. It does.
All right, so that's interesting. I will Glenn, you're not going to Triple Play, right?
No, I'm down in Antigua.
Okay. Lucky you, man. All right, I'll see. I'll give you 2 extra minutes to your life if there's no extra questions. We'll wrap it up now, and I got a lot of work. I got a lot of notes to take care of here. So welcome, Beth. Welcome to the club. We're excited to celebrate celebration, and I'll see you all next Monday and this Friday. The topic is going to be I met with a lender that we're looking to recruit, and he said that he's never leaving his company, and he said that his team leader where he's at changed his life because what they do is they have structure. And from 8 to 12 every day, they do something different. So like on Mondays, they're calling everybody from the open houses. On Tuesdays, they're calling all the people that they've done pre-qualifications for. On Wednesdays, they're calling all the realtors they want to build relationships with. On Thursdays, they're talking to all the people that they've had pre-quals out for that haven't bought. So they have a structure 4 hours every day, 5 days a week. And he said it's like changed his business. He's tripled his business from the company he was at before. So building in a structure like that where it's not, I do this for an hour, this for half an hour, this for half an hour. It's like every day has a different mission. And that's going to be my conversation this Friday. I just need to clarify and clean it up and translate it from the lending industry to the real estate industry.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that. And, I don't think it'll conflict with what you're doing, but at least it's another idea that they can utilize. All
I'm going
right.
to send you an email. I'm going to send you an email, Rob, that's directly on that topic right now. You're going to love it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, everybody. I'll see you Friday and next Monday. Have a great one.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.